Discovering Chinese dramas in 2018 opened up a whole new world of Asian dramas to me, and I've been hooked ever since. 4 years later, Tea and Soju was born, so that I can extend my love of Chinese dramas and Asian dramas in general to others out there and find a community. So, sit back and let's chat Asian dramas. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Tea and Soju C Drama Podcast, Drama Trio Edition. I'm your host, Liliana.
I'm Jess.
I'm Caitlin.
And this is part 2 of the Drama Trio genre special with Becky. So go ahead and say hello, Becky.
Hi, I'm Becky.
I'm giggling over here because, guys, I literally just messed up the intro and we're recording again. So I got the fits of the giggles. But anyways, in this episode, we're going to go back to do part 2. We've all chosen a genre and we've picked 5 dramas within that genre. Before we get into that, let me just do a little bit of housekeeping. If you like the podcast, please go ahead and subscribe and rate and share on all your platforms that you listen to. That really helps other people find the podcast. If you'd like to further support the podcast, there is Patreon, where I do first impressions and you get behind the scenes as well as movie reviews. That is all linked in the description notes. And then if you'd like to talk to any of us or you'd like an Asian drama community, there's Discord and there's all the socials such as Instagram and TikTok, X, all of those things. That will all be linked in the description notes, so go and check those out. So that's the housekeeping out of the way, and I think we're just going to do a little recap of our choices for the first part. So I'm going to go ahead. We have the order we're going in is I'm going first, and I picked Youth and Found Family. Becky is going second, and she has romance. Caitlin is going third, and she has like thriller crime genre. And then Jess has the historical period costume dramas. So my choices so far have been Nothing But You, and I've picked To Fly With You, and also Idle the Coop. And Becky, what have been your choices so far?
So my choices were Our Beloved Summer, Skating to
Well,
Love.
just between
and
lovers first.
I was gonna say.
No, I was.
She scrapped that.
I was
That's
slandered. No. No, it's okay. I mean, just between lovers for me was just like a really healing romance drama, but I've learned people have other opinions. So I'm going to say my 3 choices were Our Beloved Summer, Skating to Love, and Why I Dress Up for Love.
Okay. And Caitlin, what has been... So Caitlin and Jess have only done 2 choices so far because we sort of broke up the episode. So Caitlin, what has been your 2 choices so far?
My 2 choices were the Taiwanese drama The Victim's Game and the Korean drama Stranger.
And Jess, what were your 2 choices so far?
My 2 choices have been The Crowned Clown, which is a K-drama, and Goodbye My Princess, which is a C-drama.
So guys, again, this is part 2. So if you haven't, just stumbled across this one, go back and listen to part 1 so you can, hear our thoughts and our chaos in part 1. And without further ado, let's just jump right in. We're going to have honorable mentions as well at the end because Jess really, really needs some honorable mentions.
I need it. Sorry.
We all have some honorable mentions, so we'll do those right at the end. But first up is Caitlin with thriller and crime. So Caitlin, what is your 3rd choice?
Okay, so my 3rd choice is the Chinese drama A Murderous Affair in Horizon Tower.
Oh, I have not heard of this one.
Yeah, it is a 2020 drama. This kind of came out of nowhere for me. Like, I basically didn't know anything about it when I clicked play, and I absolutely loved it. It was a highlight of my 2020 watching experience. Also, the first review I ever did on my blog, because I started my blog in 2020.
Oh my gosh. That is
This is the first
exciting.
review. Yeah, so basically this is stars it's an ensemble cast. The main person though is Angela Baby.
Oh yeah, I do know her, yeah.
She plays a coffee shop owner who ends up dying in Horizon Tower. And so when she dies,
Wait, she's the victim?
she's the victim. So the show starts
Oh.
out with her dying, and
Oh
then
my
it
God.
backtracks to how her death came about and
Oh,
what.
you're
So it's
talking
like
my language. I
so it's one of
love
those
I
things.
love when dramas do that when they
I love when they
start.
kill the big star first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we
So how this story, like it really stood out in terms of this story is like it's told from the perspective of the ensemble cast. So like every couple of episodes it switches the person's perspective. So you including hers. So the last couple episodes is her perspective. And that's when everything comes into clarity and you find out the real reason, you find out how everything happened. And this allows like the audience to feel like like you are part of the people interrogating the people and finding the clues, and you're basically learning as the cops learn by getting perspective from the characters as they come about. Because we only know the clues and what is divulged in that perspective. So it's other than knowing that she dies, we don't really know anything else, and we learn as the cops learn. So this also allows like for the prejudices that come in. So like if you have a perspective of somebody and you're like, oh my God, he's definitely guilty. He's the person, blah, blah, blah. But then 2 episodes later, you get another perspective and you're like, oh, well, maybe he isn't the person. Maybe this person is the actual killer, or maybe this person is the culprit, or blah, 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 blah. So I loved when that happens in terms of like, because I watch so many crime dramas and I also have a criminal justice background. I love when it's not predictable, because there's sometimes where I absolutely predict the end of a crime drama and then it gets boring for me and I can't finish it. Like a Korean drama this year. So,
Throw the shade. Throw it.
so this one just was like so different because it just had a beautiful story and a beautiful ensemble cast, and it also deals with a lot of societal issues like suicide and domestic violence and things like that, and it's all told within this apartment building. So all the ensemble cast live in this apartment building except for the cops, and so you're getting all of this perspective within
like
one
it.
building and this one story.
I like it. It says here that it has an 8.2 rating on
It does.
Dolban.
It's amazing.
Oh,
It's
whoa!
so good.
That's high.
So
That's
good.
real
whoa.
high.
Guys, if you're not familiar, Douban is kind of like the MDL, my drama list of
Like the
China.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes,
But for
however,
Chinese dramas in China.
yeah, however, Douban, they like Chinese people.
They're brutal.
They are brutal. Like they are extremely, extremely harsh. Like a 6 is considered a high rating in like on Douban. So if this has an 8.2, that means it's
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
It's
The
good.
thing is that I also find is that it's really interesting when it comes to like Douban and ratings. Often what hits in China does not hit abroad and like internationally. So it's always really, really interesting. I actually want to do like an episode where I do like the top Douban dramas against like the top, my drama list dramas, because I think it'll be really, really interesting just to see what.
I also don't trust my drama list ratings.
Yeah, I think my drama list
Ever.
ratings are really, really inflated a lot of the time. Like,
yeah.
so I don't necessarily trust the ratings on there. So yeah, but that is
So this is
high.
only available on WeTV as far as I'm aware, which is Tencent. That's where I watched it. So I haven't seen it come up in anywhere else. So it's one of those where I don't think a lot of people internationally have seen it.
No.
Because it's only available on WeTV. It's only available on one platform. So
I'm surprised that because Vicky have a contract with WeTV, and a lot of the time Vicky gets like WeTV dramas, so I'm surprised I haven't picked that one up. So, and actually, if you want to watch it, I would suggest watching it like soonish, because I think like Angel Baby has had a bit of a controversy over in China. So I don't know, like you know, how well her dramas are going to hold up, unfortunately, because, you know, cancel culture and all of that. So we'll see.
Another highlight of this is like it's an unexpected thing, but one thing I liked was it's a female-centered story wrapped in a crime drama. So it's
Ooh.
like going in, I didn't realize it would be that story, but then by the end, you're like, oh, this is like a female woman-centered drama hidden behind a crime drama, which was a very interesting take on it.
And now I really want to watch this.
It's good. I think it's only like 16 episodes.
Oh, it's one
12
of those
Yeah, it's only
shorter
16.
ones.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
shorter ones. It's
God.
a shorter
Yeah.
one.
That convinces me even more.
Can't remember.
China
Yeah, it's
does
16 episodes.
China does like thriller and crime dramas really well when
Yeah.
they're on the shorter side. If they're like longer ones, they tend to go off the rails, but the shorter ones they tend to do really, really well, really well. So
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm gonna have to add that one to the list as well. The never-ending list. So that was Caitlin's third choice. Jess.
Nice. I like that choice. Yeah, so it's back around to me. I'm gonna choose. Let me see. I'm gonna choose The Princess's Man
What I
from
know this
2011.
one.
I do not know that one.
Okay, this did really, really well upon its release in Korea. It had like 23% average weekly rating, which is extremely high. It's 24 episodes long. It's a KBS drama. And it stars Park Si-woo and Moon Tae-won. Moon Tae-won, of course, from Flower of Evil, who's the female lead from Flower of Evil. And it's a Romeo and Juliet story, like straight up, straight up. Okay. So her family, her father is a politician, wants to take over the throne, and he stages a coup and becomes the king. Meanwhile, he, like the male lead, they fall in love like right as this is sort of taking off, and he's the son of like the father's enemy, basically, if that makes any sense. So the families are opposed, and this king really did exist. And the whole thing of the story is like they have the daughter who's trying to basically get with her man the whole show after they fall in love. And the whole reason why you never heard of this daughter before in history is because she was like erased from history, if that makes any sense. Like the dad was so like upset with the situation that he just like erased her name from history. So it's just like the story that you never heard of, even though this is a real king. And he ended up being, even though he staged this brutal coup and he was a terrible dad, he turns out to be one of the better kings in Korean history. So I thoroughly enjoyed the show. I think a lot of people are put off by historicals because there is so much politics, like politicking going on. The politics in the show are way less. And if you have the politics revolve explicitly around the love story and will they, won't they make it? And I feel like that was a good way to do it because it is mostly, it's the bulk of it is a love story. That's why people tuned in. And it was very high stakes. The guy goes on like the male lead goes on a journey, right? Like it's almost like what's a good, maybe like Gladiator is a good, the movie Gladiator is a good way to think about his journey because it's like a change of status like every few episodes, like something else happens and he's in a different situation, and she is like advocating for him and trying to get with him every chance she gets. And of course there's that big vendetta between him and her father, the king. So a lot of stuff going on. I don't want to spoil it, but this is one of the few K-dramas that I actually rewatched and highly underrated. I think it's very large scale, sweeping, and high episode count at 24, which is unusual. Usually it's 20 or 16 or whatever. And I think the performances are amazing. Like I really came away from it thinking these two are just amazing. Like this historical K-dramas lately I feel like are not that great. There's always like one standout in a year, but like on the whole you're just kind of like, okay, It's Rowoon in in
Again.
Hanbok. And like, again, so instead of it being so story heavy and you're really sold on these characters and their situations and you're rooting for them, this is one of those that you're like lost.
Yeah.
Like I remember finishing episodes and being like, what year is it? Like, where am I? It's really good. So The Princess's Man.
Yeah.
Which I don't think people have watched.
No. Do you know what? You're mentioning about like how, historical K-dramas for me, they haven't been. The last one that I remember being completely enthralled with is The Red Sleeve. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I can't remember when that, in the sort of last year where I've really, 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 really loved it. So. Maybe this year has just been like we were saying last episode, this year has been the episode, the year of what is it, reincarnated lives and time travel and whatnot. Let's leave it in 2023, please.
Oh, there's too many.
Give me all of them. I love that trope. I will eat it up every single time. All the time.
The thing is, if they were being well done, then I probably wouldn't mind it, but I feel like a lot of them are, very mediocre right now, so that's probably why I don't enjoy it.
It's not it wouldn't be a quantity issue if it wasn't a quality issue.
Yeah. Exactly. But that has always been the thing, though. Like, K-dramas, I think for me personally, in the last year, that's become really apparent, is that they want to produce more, like, faster. And that has, like, affected the quality of the overall, like, of the K-dramas in general, I think. Whereas C-dramas, on the other hand, they've become less, but they've upped their quality. So thank God for Aichi reshuffling their whole company last year. So yeah. Right, we're back
to you
now. Back to me now. So this is a drama that finished up very early on this year. I think it finished either January or February. I know it finished up really, really early. It started last year, but it finished up this year. So to me, that's a 2023 drama. I don't count them, unless I've finished them. And that is the Chinese drama Meet Yourself. Now, this drama to me, guys, when I tell you this drama feels like a warm hug in a drama, that's what it is to me. I was, it came at winter time and I was coming home like pretty tired and whatnot, and all I wanted to do was to curl up on the sofa with this drama. That's the kind of relationship I had with it. It is the purest, like, found family. And I will go in by saying this is the same screenwriter. There's two screenwriters and the director. They did Go Ahead. It's the exact same team that did Go Ahead. And you get a lot of that feel through it, that family isn't necessarily your blood relation. It's the family is what, people that make you happy and people that root for you and are there for you. So that's what this drama is like. So the basic, plot of it is our female lead lives out in one of the cities and she works in a hotel, and basically she is constantly working. She's working towards owning a home, owning a car. She's like a very go-getter, constantly working, because that's what people in the cities do. Like, they have this very vast conversation about, what are we working towards? She gets to that point that she's like, what am I working for if I don't get to enjoy the fruits of my labor? And basically there's something that's really, really sad that happens in the first episode. I will say, you don't get that happy feeling straight away. There's something that's very, very sad that happens in episode 1 that makes our female lead kind of think and rethink her whole life. And she's like, what am I working so hard for? Like, what am I doing this for? So she ups and quits her job, and she decides that for 3 months she's going to go and live like out in one of the countryside sort of villages, towns. and she's just going to figure her life out. She's going to figure out what she wants to do and, you know, discover her passion for life again. And basically, she goes to this town. She meets these lovely people, and she does fall in love with somebody over in that town. And you know, there's that story. Their relationship is one of the most adult relationships I've ever watched on screen. Both actors are like older actors. This is the female lead is Crystal Yu, or she's also known as Liu Feifei, and she has played in a bunch of stuff. She is an older female, and she is actually, have any of you guys watched the like Disney live action of Mulan
Yes.
at all? She's that female lead. She played Mulan in that. So that's who she is. And the main guy is Li Xian. He's from, you know, Go-Go Squid 1 and a bunch of other dramas like that. So they just pair up so well. But what I loved is like the building of this community in this like little town, and how they kind of embrace her, and how she just kind of like starts to help everybody. And there's a lot of discussions between, you know, older generations and younger generations, and discussions about how certain arts are being lost to time, like embroidery and like, you know, those sort of arts, how they're being lost to time because people don't necessarily want to, you know, learn them in their busy, you know, lives. And what I really loved about it as well is the fact that it makes you think that you need to sort of like slow down a little bit every now and again, and you can't just be on the go 24/7, because that's like no way to live. So I adored it. I think, you know, to me, it's definitely one of those that I was coming, like I said, coming home, and it felt like a warm hug at the end of the day. It's not like there's no angst in it. There's no, you know, there's not a lot of drama. People communicate so well in this drama. They sit down, and the conversations that they have with each other. This is one of those dramas that I truly wish I knew Mandarin and I could understand it, because I feel like, you know, the translations don't capture the conversations well enough. The dialogue is just so good between them. So yeah, I loved this one. I highly recommend. You can watch it either on Viki, or it's also available on YouTube on the China Huas TV. So yeah, that's, you know, meet yourself. It's definitely one that I would just highly recommend if you just want something easy to watch. But I will say episode 1 is a little hard to watch, but then like once she goes to you know, the village, and she kind of like starts living there, it's just like, and you see all sorts of people from different backgrounds as well like come together. So yeah, and you see like different generations come together as well. So yeah, that I really love this one.
I didn't think you were going to bring up Meet Yourself, because I feel like you sing its praises every chance you get.
I know.
But man, it reminds me so much. The plot reminds me of Summer Strike so much.
Mm-hmm. I haven't watched that one,
true.
Summer Strike. I haven't watched
Yeah.
that one.
That's so true. Yeah.
I didn't know. I almost didn't bring it up, but I'll tell you guys what it is. I wanted to do a review podcast for this one when I first watched it. And originally I was going to do a guest episode, and it kind of like kept being like sort of pushed further and further, and then by the time I just couldn't fit it in anymore. It just kind of like didn't work out, and I've always felt so like sorry that I didn't make it like work. But it's just like one of those dramas that, if I'm not going to mention, you know, other dramas that I really love within this category, like this one I don't mind mentioning it, because I don't really have like a review episode for it or anything like that. And I just feel like it's one of those dramas, especially right now, it's really like a good cozy watch for winter time, I think.
Maybe I'll watch it in 2024 and we can do a drama
Oh
trail
my god,
thing.
yes, I will rewatch it.
Because I haven't watched Meet
gladly.
Yourself yet.
I
It's
haven't
so
watched
good.
it either. I
Oh,
remember
we're
you
also
telling
haven't
me
Becky,
watched it.
you
about it.
right.
I want to watch it. That was so.
I feel like we're making this as a Caitlin, can we convince you to try it out?
I will try.
Do
We'll try
it.
it. It's fine. I'll try
There's
it.
no crime, but like it can be.
There's no
It'll be lovely.
Yeah. Also, I don't think it's one of those dramas that you can binge. It's just one of those that you like slowly watch and you like dip in and out of every now and again. The scenery, like I want to go to where they are. Like it's so beautiful. Like I just want to go and hang out there. So yeah, and like there's one thing that I really really love. It's like just to show you how adult the relationship is between our main couple. So eventually she does like want to go back to the city and like figure things out and whatnot. And there's a whole conversation had between them. And there's like this guy has the conversation with our male lead, and he's like, why aren't you stopping her? Why aren't you asking her to stay? And the male lead just very clearly says, that's not my place. My place is to let her choose what she wants to do and support her. There is
Damn straight.
telephones, there is
Damn straight.
telephones, there's planes. Like, I don't mind it as long as she's happy with what she wants to do. I'm happy with, you know, whatever makes her happy. And I'm like, ah, yes, this is like the type of like, you know, relationships that
The maturity
I live
level.
for. Yeah, that I live for. So yeah. Maybe, guys, I feel like
You're super excited. I think it has to
I
happen.
love it. We have to watch it now. There's no going back.
Yeah.
Right. Drama review coming in 2024. Let's put it that way.
Yep. Let's pencil it in. I'm
Right.
down.
Becky, what's your next choice?
So funnily enough, actually, this came out kind of around the same time Meet Yourself came out, because this is what I remember. I was going on a plane to go to a friend's wedding, and I was like, oh, I'm going to watch a show on a plane. So I had either Meet Yourself or When I Fly Towards You. And I remember people specifically saying, do not watch the first episode of Meet Yourself on a plane. You will cry. So
You will.
I opted for When I Fly Towards You, and that is the show I'm going to be talking about. Have you guys seen that?
Yes.
No.
Absolutely. Of course, Caitlin's like, no.
I never in my I have never watched a more wholesome show in my life. I will probably speak its praises for I don't even know how long. It was like what you were saying, like a warm hug. Like watching this show, I at one point was smiling so much. I was like, why does my mouth hurt? Like, what is happening? So I'm just like it's like watching it so intently, and I just didn't even realize I was smiling. But for context about When I Fly Towards You, it is like a youth drama. So essentially they meet in it's high school, right?
Yeah, they meet in high school. Yeah.
They meet in high school, and the girl, I just love how it all just starts, because the girl basically she hears these rumors about one of the guys, and she gets the names confused because the friend uses his friend's name, and so she's talking to the guy using his name, being like, he's awful, he used, and then it's him, and so he's just playing around with it, but also she gets a huge crush on him. And normally in dramas, I'm just gonna go on a quick thing, in dramas, if a girl just devotes her whole life to a man, everything drops, everything, career and everything, just because she's I have a crush on him, cough cough, cute programmer.
Oh my god, I hate
can't stand it. That if you ever want to hate on cute programmer,
don't watch it, guys. I never say this. I'm always of the mind of try it yourselves, see if you like it. Don't watch Cute Programmer. It is one of my lowest rated dramas ever. It's just horrendous. Absolutely. The male lead is despicable. I hated it.
Oh my god.
And it goes under the ruse. At first you're like, oh wow, she's she went into tech and she likes this guy, and no, she went into tech because of the guy. She doesn't even have a passion for it. That's where I was and then it just gets worse from there. It is completely the worst drama I've ever watched in my life. And I will, if people sing praises about it, I'm I need to know now if you are trustworthy, because I just can't. I don't think we can have honest conversations.
I
The
don't
litmus
think, I don't
test.
think we can vibe. I don't think we can vibe.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's so
I dislike it so much.
but getting back from
Yeah,
that
but it's like-
normally, if a girl is like devoting her whole everything to a guy, I'm just like, I can't. You have to be your own person. Like I need you to have character development, not try and like get it from a man. And the thing is, in this she does have a little crush, and it's so wholesome, it's so cute, because eventually he starts to reciprocate the feelings, and it's just such a beautiful story about friendship and growing up, and then they go to college, and like their friend trio is just like my favorite thing ever. Like just watching them in any situation, like even because they end up making like a second couple, obviously, but even like the one that doesn't get anyone, so enjoyable to watch. Like he's just like, I'm here, I'm alone, I'm having a great time, and like the whole group is just, I loved it so much. And the second couple is the best second couple I've ever watched
I
in a
was so
C-drama.
invested
Hands
in
down.
them.
They
Did you
were
did you guys see that the second couple basically kind of like went out of their way, and
Did.
after it wrapped up, they did like photos together, and like it was like a proposal shoot and whatnot, and I was like, this is adorable. Like
did.
they're putting in the work, these two are. They like
Giving the people what they want.
yeah, the whole internet was shipping them so bad, like as a CP. It was adorable.
Ugh.
They were
I
perfect.
I loved this one. I really, really did. And I think like also what it is the female lead, Zhang Miao Yi, she is just like so adorable, and like she can carry these characters really well. Like it suits her really, really well to do
Yeah.
it. So yeah, I I watched this and I really, really loved it. And I think the only thing that I didn't enjoy was the whole debate of, hidden love and when I fly towards you. And
well,
how
you were all up in that discourse though.
But
You're
like,
shaking your head. You're
yeah,
like,
but
oh
like,
my God.
why can't people just enjoy both? I was like, I liked both.
I thought they were really different.
Yeah.
They were
The
completely
only
different.
the only thing that they have in common is the fact that they were written by the same author. That's the only thing they have in common, I think. They have very different stories, so yeah. But yeah, I really did enjoy this one as well. I feel like it's, one of those youths that I tend to really gravitate towards, because I just love seeing them like start off in school and then like growing into adulthood. I love seeing, that sort of trajectory for characters. So yeah.
Yeah, it was very pleasant, very nice. Not mad that I watched it. I guess the first part of the show was not my favorite, which is mostly them in high school. And I personally just feel like I have outgrown a lot of the high school dramas. This is not a knock on high school dramas, it's just me personally. And so I was a little bit like not bored with it, but I was like, okay, it's more of the same. Okay, they're going to class. Okay, they have like an outing. Okay, they have a test and they're getting tutored, and oh, there's a misunderstanding. Oh, there's a jealous student. It's like, okay, it's kind of formulaic, but I think once they graduate, I'm like, okay, this is getting a lot deeper into growing up and just a little beyond coming of age. And that was really nice. This is a classic. She fell first, he fell harder.
Oh my God, he
Yes.
falls so hard.
It's
He really
so
does.
good.
He really,
Yeah.
really does. And that guy, so Zoiran, he has had, so basically he's now just
He had a good
doing
year.
drama after drama, and he's rumored in a drama. Oh, who is it with? He's recording it now, and there's been some stills out for it, and I'm just trying to like bring it up and I can't. Is it on my drama list yet? It is. Oh yeah, it is. So have any of you guys watched or seen any of the posters for Lighter and Princess at all? So the
Yes.
female lead from Lighter and Princess is in the new drama. That's the female lead that's going to play opposite him.
Oh Lord.
In
Okay.
in that one. So
We won't survive it. We won't survive it.
and it's going to be like
Caitlin's just giggling.
Caitlin's just giggling along. She's just like, you guys. But I am really excited for that one. I think it'll be like a really good one for them. The posters look really, really good. We've seen like the first kind of like posters come out, and it looks really, really good. So we'll see. But he's like on track to like becoming pretty big. I think he's probably going to be one of those up and coming male leads. So
absolutely.
Right. Let's swap it into crime. Caitlin. I just love this transition though.
Because we had like two really wholesome shows.
Exactly.
And then Caitlin's like, here's the deal. I'm gonna bring in some blood and pain.
And then Jess just comes in behind and here's the angst.
Exactly.
That's what it is. Oh my gosh.
It's a good follow-up.
Okay, so my next one, I think everybody has seen this one. And that is the Chinese drama Reset.
Oh,
yeah.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
Good. It's
There's a sequel coming out, Jess. You need to see this.
Wait, is there
a sequel?
Yes, there's a sequel coming out called
Wait,
Restart.
A sequel?
No,
yeah, they announced
way.
it. I think Tencent announced it in their last awards show or something, or like the one where they announced the new dramas coming up. They announced
it's like their conference.
Yeah,
their conference. Oh my god!
But
so
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's going to be a direct sequel where they bring back the original cast, or is it just going to be like a whole new story, but with the same concept. I'm not sure.
Like a spin-off.
But it's called Restart.
Why
so
is
this
not
is
coming
Reset.
up for me? Oh yeah, it's there. There we go.
Restart.
Chinese sequel. Restart. Let me just have a little look. Oh, we don't even have any like.
They don't have the cast.
No cast.
They literally just released the poster and the name. That's it.
That's crazy.
Nothing.
That's like MCU shit right there.
Oh my god, I am so that's gonna be really, really good. Jess, you need to watch
I know.
this.
I've had so many people tell me to watch the show, and it's because I was watching other things and K-dramas.
I also was late to this. I did not watch this when it aired. I binged it later.
I did. I watched it while it was on air, and it was torture because I was like, on
god,
the edge
it was
of
torture
my
for me
seat.
binging this. I can't imagine doing it as it aired.
I was watching it while on air, and I'm like edge of my seat, and I'm like, I have no clue where this is going. I don't know who the culprit is, and I just need to watch more. It's so good. It's so good. And also it's only 16 episodes. So you know.
15.
15, even better.
15. Even better.
15. Right, Caitlin, would you like sorry,
sorry.
We're so
continue.
Well, Becky, I want to hear your story in this because I know your story from TikTok. So
well, so like it was like one random day, and I just was like, sometimes I think I just love watching pilot episodes. I just love just watching a first episode just for fun. And I was like, ooh, Reset, this looks good. And I decided for some reason to do a watch party. So I just like posted on my story. I was like, hey guys, like I'm going to do a watch party for this show if anyone wants to join. Here's the link. We watched 7 hours of it.
Oh my god.
And no one left the watch party. It was insane. Like Vicky before had a cap of like, I think 25 people, and like people joined, and then like eventually there was just like for hours we just watched it, and after every episode we're like, do we go to the next one? Do we pause? Do we go on a break? Like what do we do?
It's so good.
It was just so addictive, and like sadly I think there were only like 8 episodes out, so I think we watched like the first like 7 hours, and then I watched like the 8th, and then I mean we were watching it ongoing at that point. But it was so good. It just captivated you. You could not leave your seat. Like I think for 4 hours I was just like, okay. Then I paused it. I'm like, who needs food? Are we getting food? Like I'm gonna pause it.
No, let's go.
But it was like, oh my gosh,
So
I
good.
don't do like thriller dramas, but like I think that kind of opened me up to different types of genres, and like you guys are opening me up to different like genres. I'm so excited to check these all out. Like who knows, maybe I'll become like the thriller
The thriller queen. Yes.
skip my wholesome dramas. But now I want to hear what you thought about it, Caitlin, because it was
Talk to
masterpiece.
us. Ooh.
Hold on 1 second.
Has she got a cat coming in?
I'm so excited.
I don't know, but Caitlin's bringing her cat over.
Looks like mine.
She will meow. She will meow until I pick her up and put her in my lap.
Oh, I love
So
this.
I have to put her in my lap.
I
That was
love it.
Zoe. That was Zoe. Anyway, so people who have not seen this drama, basically you have the female lead who's played by Jing Mai. I'm
Yeah.
really sorry if I butchered that. And then the male lead is Bai Ching Ting.
Yeah.
And so basically what happens is the female lead gets on a bus and the male lead joins her, and the bus ends up exploding, but then they realize that they're in a time loop, so they have to keep riding this bus and figure out what happened. And then you have to deal with like the 12 other people on the bus and learning their backstory and trying to figure out who is the culprit, why they're doing it, so they only have this amount of time before it explodes again to like question these people and figure out who has something and figure out who might have a beef with somebody else on the bus or like why they're doing it in the first place. And then it eventually broadens to like the time loop at some point gets a little longer, so they have time before they get on the bus to like investigate stuff. And just like I binged this and I had to take breaks. It was so intense.
So good.
It's like, okay, I have to like pause and walk around, or I have to like, okay, who do I think? And it's like, you can't guess. Like,
No, you can't. You can't
tried to
guess.
guess who was it. And
This
it's
is,
one of
I
those
know I'm gonna
episodes
love
where
it.
it was like, oh yeah, you're gonna love it. It's like one of those episodes where it's like, okay, this has to be the bad guy. This has to be. And then the next episode is like,
It
oh,
wasn't.
it wasn't. Okay,
Whose is it?
Like, and at some time you're thinking it's one of the two main characters. Like, it's. I remember watching this and I'm like, I've seen some Chinese dramas. I haven't seen a ton of them. That's one of my goals of 2024 is to watch more Chinese crime dramas. This one just like blew my mind when I watched it because it was something I had never because it's like between overall, I think we can all agree, Asia in general does not do time travel and time loops very well.
No.
Especially sci-fi. Like if you add sci-fi into the mix. And this one kind of took a more sci-fi-ish route.
I like that.
Versus just like a I come to the future time travel. It was more of like a sci-fi type route. And the fact that it was done so well and so condensed, there was like the reason why it was so intense, and there was like no lull in the story whatsoever. It was like 16 episodes, boom, 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 boom. You were never bored. And it was just like, because they were racing the clock, if I remember correctly, they actually had a clock in the corner where they were counting it down.
They do.
So you were like watching this clock while watching them trying to figure this out. And you're like, oh crap, it's going to blow up again. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
Like, it was intense.
And it's like it's also like that atmosphere of when is the time loop gonna stop? Are they gonna be able to solve this before the time loop like stops resetting itself?
Right.
So
and the fact that they have to like convince the other people on the bus that like this is going to happen. You have to help us figure it out. Like we have to figure out a way to like quickly convince these people. Because I don't think they can stop the bus either. Because they've tried that. Like they tried every single way they could possibly do to get people off this bus or whatever.
This sounds like intense. Groundhog Day meets Speed.
Yeah, it was intense. It was good.
It's so cool because they use the knowledge of like each time they have to go back to try and figure out a way. And it's just fabulous.
What I'm hearing is to put this one down for a review as well.
A rewatch?
I like it. Or a first time watch for me.
Too. Like the ensemble acting. And the thing is, because you're learning about these characters and their background, like some of these background stories are heartbreaking.
Oh my god.
Like I cried.
Yes.
I mean, granted, as I said, I cry very easily. But like some of it is just like the reason why they're on this bus is like something you would never expect in a million years.
I love it.
and you
So
think they're the
good.
murderers. So you're like,
Yeah.
they suck. I hate them. And you're like, oh my gosh. I
Oh my
can't
God,
believe
yeah.
Never mind.
Why would I even think that? I'm the
Crazy.
worst. Like,
Yeah,
it's a great time.
crazy. Yeah.
One of the better
Yeah.
time loop stories that I've seen in K-drama is this drama called One More Time from
Oh
2016.
yes, I've seen that one.
Have you seen that one
Yeah,
with
I've seen
Infinite's
yeah.
L?
Yeah. I have
yeah.
seen
It's
that one.
only 8 episodes. It is
It's really
so
good.
easy to watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically like a Groundhog Day for this dude.
Yeah.
And there isn't any crime element in it,
No, it's
but
not.
you're just hoping he becomes a better person. It's literally Groundhog Day, but with this guy. So I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
But the sci-fi element and the bus like
So
careening
good.
into a
It's so
disaster.
good.
Yeah.
Come
The
on.
hilarious thing too is when it was done airing, Chinese internet went like a
Ballistic.
buzz because there's this scene at the very end that I'm not giving anything away, but there's a scene at the very end where it's like, I want to say it was like a messenger biker, and he's just like randomly in the scene, and they're like, "Oh, it's gonna be season 2 with this guy." Like this guy's gonna be
No,
there.
yeah, and he was just randomly there.
It was randomly there,
Random
but it's
guy.
hilarious now that we're getting a season 2 and we have no idea what the story is. And what the characters,
It
but
could
like,
be him.
it was like it went viral. Like people were like, it has to be him in the second season. Like it has.
I love
to
it.
be.
This-
Well, and then at one point too, like not only are they trying to convince the bus people that this happens, they also are trying to convince the cops that this is happening. So they like have to round the cops into saving them at the same time. And like it's just like at one time they're getting interrogated and they're like, "Oh my God, you have to go and save this bus." Like we are like and then they think they're the suspect because they're like they know this bus is gonna explode. Like it is intense. It is insane how intense this gets.
I love time loop stuff.
Yeah.
I love it.
I was
Really good
just looking it up, and it has a 7.9 on Doban, which is really
That's
good.
high.
That's
It's
good.
really,
That's
really good. On my drama list, it has a 9.1, which is like pretty high.
Pretty high.
Like, yeah. Not a lot of shows have like, I don't think there's actually any shows that have above a 9.1. There might be one that has a 9.2, but overall, like, that's really, really high. So yeah, I feel like we should add this one to the list as well for us to
I like
review. It's a nice short one as well.
It is.
True.
We'll have to have Becky back and do like a review with us. We can all
Reset.
review it together. Yeah.
I would love that.
There you go. Guys, you're hearing our plans as we build them live. So that was Reset. Jess.
Okay, how do I follow that up? Great. Lord. So I guess I really I would be remiss if I didn't talk about this because it was an entire era of my 2023, but it's got to be Love Like the Galaxy from last year. It's a 2022 drama.
Yeah.
Come on. I honestly
also watched that this year.
Oh
Still
my God.
haven't
You
seen it.
finished it finally
I
this year,
finished
right?
it finally this year.
It's so good. It's so
so
good.
Amazing. It's
I've heard so
amazing.
many good things, but I
So
have it on my
good.
list.
Oh my gosh.
To this day, that is still Zalushi's best work.
It's
it's her
like
best
stunning.
work
I
to
would
date.
agree. Yeah.
It's stunning. The family dynamics in the show, the way that it's a slow burn for the couple, and
The couple is just so good.
It's all time Leo
good.
Wu, or Wu Lei and
Wu Lei.
Xiaoluxi,
Yeah.
like Endgame. They're amazing.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend it.
I made Jess watch this. I think was this one that I made because I did a TikTok on it, right?
No. What happened was we saw the same TikTok edit.
Oh yeah, we did. Yes,
That's what happened. And I was like
did.
describing the edit, and you were like, I saw that one too. And I was like, that was it. Like I had to immediately drop everything and watch Love Like the Galaxy. It was the scene of them, right? He was behind her on the horse, and she was in the red wedding gown, like at night trying to evade.
It's when she rescues him, basically.
And they're on the cliff. Yeah. And he like throws himself off the cliff to kind of save her. Basically.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Because they were captured at that point. And I was like, I am sold. The cinematography and like the acting. I was in that 2 second, like it wasn't 2 seconds, but it was like what, a minute long, the scene. that they had cut together, I was floored. So the whole drama is basically that good.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend it.
I would say I'm going to put an aside here and twist Jess's arm a little bit because I know she's very much in K-drama land. But if you like Love Like the Galaxy,
No, don't do this to me.
I am pretty sure. but this is what friends are for. What aren't friends for if not to play the little devil on your arm? Basically, I reckon if you like Love Like the Galaxy, A Journey to Love, which is currently airing, will work really nicely.
I need to watch that one.
It's so good.
The thing is, it's between you, Liliana, and Carol from K-drama.
I know she's been doing the same thing to me,
advocating hard, for A Journey to Love.
Revenge podcast with Carol, and the first thing she tells me, "Are you watching A Journey to Love?" I'm like, it's a 2024 drama for me. I need to finish some stuff. She's like, you need to watch it because I need people to talk to.
That's what she says. She's like, I need people to talk to about it. I'm like, girl, I am usually there for you. I will drop anything at the drop of a hat to watch a drama that's better. But I am sticking to my guns here. I'm trying to finish out 2023 K-dramas. It is not the best idea to do
2023 K-dramas. I already pushed them to 2024 at this point.
I'm like obsessed. This is the drama that I run to every single day when there's new episodes.
Don't tell me that.
I mean, it's the fact that it's two assassins who are from different states and they're not supposed to like each other, but they
it's a Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
You could almost say that, but it's kind of like it's the fact that the female lead just goes toe to toe with the male lead like nobody's business.
I saw a scene of her and I was like,
she's so bad. She comes on screen like I have never seen a Liu Shishi before. This is my first time. She comes on screen.
She's amazing. She's an amazing actress.
Like 5 minutes of her being on screen, I'm like, I need to Google. I need to know everything about. Like,
so
I'm
good.
captivated by her. It's like that good. I'm just on a whole. Yeah,
I can't wait to watch her in Fox Spirit Matchmaker.
Yes, she's gonna do that as well.
I love her.
That cast is stacked.
Yeah,
stacked
so much.
She's just so good. She's just so good. And her fight scenes are just so ridiculously beautiful. I'm like, I can't handle this drama right now. I will call it. This will make it into my best of the best for 2023. There's no way.
Shut up.
How many episodes are out of it right now?
26.
Okay.
Out of 40?
26. Yeah, so we're more than halfway through. And also there's there's a found family aspect to this drama as well. Just saying.
Is it enemies to lovers then? If they're
kind of, but not really, because she has basically she is supposed to be the best assassin that's ever been in her faction ever. She can go toe to toe with him and even beat him if she wants to, which I just love. But basically she faked her own death 5 years ago because there was a conspiracy to kill her and get rid of her. So this is her comeback story, and their things that they want to do just kind of align right now, so they end up working together. So that's kind of the gist of it. But when I tell you this male lead is a puppy when it comes to her, it's
no.
Yes, he's
we need to stop talking about this because I'm upset.
I will watch the first episode tonight if we continue to talk about this. No,
just come and tell me. I just love it. Last thing I'll say, he's he'll turn to the side and he'll dispense and kill somebody, or he'll be really ruthless, and then she comes in the scene and he's just what do I do? It's so good. He's like a puppy towards her. It's amazing, honestly. Right, I'll stop now. I'm sorry. I'll stop now.
I know what I need to do. I just don't have the time to do it this week. That's
I'm dying over here. For any of you guys to pick this up at this point.
I'm angry at myself, okay? That I
didn't
can't
even know
We all
dedicate the
know I
time.
do not watch airing C dramas. There's a
I
reason
know.
I did not
That's
start
another
this.
thing. I'm like, wait a minute. You watched a romance? Hold on. Like, what's going on here?
It's
I love to
so
love like the
good.
I'm
galaxy.
gonna watch the first
Also-
episode tonight. I'm gonna do it. You convinced me.
Oh, great.
You've charmed me.
You've charmed me.
I love this. I love this.
Got the job.
Oh.
You've charmed me.
I'm just
Exactly.
sorry,
Oh
Jess.
gosh.
Sorry.
Okay. So,
sorry,
but I'm
but
a binger. I'm a catch up watch because I'm a binger. So
and like
just
the
give me a sec.
episodes, they're really easy to get through. So like
This
for me,
drama's just
I'm
easy.
somebody who isn't necessarily a big wuxia fan or isn't necessarily a big politics fan, and I'm like, this is done so well that I'm like,
Okay.
give me more. Just
Okay,
give
on
me
a scale
more.
of 1 to like The Untamed, how much politics is in it?
Oh no, nowhere near like as much. Nowhere near
Okay,
as
cool,
much.
cool.
Basically, like just the outside of it is that there was a war that broke out between the two countries, and the the An country captured the Wu country's emperor, and they have to retrieve the emperor. And the deal is that they have to bring 100,000 teals of gold, and it has to be delivered by a prince. So, that's like where it starts. And basically, the prince that is delivering this gold isn't a prince, it's a
Of
princess
course.
in disguise.
Oh,
And
I
stop.
and
I'm in already. I was in before, but I'm like all in.
And basically, what's happened is so the Liu Dao Hole, which is like the guards and the like secret services for the Wu country, goes on this trip with her to kind of like protect her and build up the relationship. But they need somebody to teach her how to deal with like the An country people, especially the emperor. So that's where our assassin comes in, and she's going to be the one like teaching her. And like seeing this princess go from this very sheltered little girl to like this convincing, prominent, like woman who is disguised as a man has been chef's kiss. I'm so invested in this right now.
Jess's face.
Just over it because I would love it. Like I know that I would love it.
I'm sorry, but I'm not really though.
You're not sorry that you did this to me. It's like, look at all this wonderful food. I know you can't. I know you're on a diet right now, but let me tell you how great this food is.
Oh,
That's what you just did to me.
God. Just think about it this way: when you can go and watch it, it'll almost be completed, or it'll be completed, and then you can.
That's
just
my
go through it.
bag. Like I'm there. As soon as the drama's like almost over, I'm like, oh, cool. I don't have to wait for episodes. That's it.
It's so good. It's so
I'm
good.
in.
Watch.
It's so good. Right.
All right. So Liliana, back to you,
Is
I
it
guess.
me?
Yes.
Yes.
So, my last choice is a little bit out of left field, I would say.
Ooh.
It's a choice that it's like, I don't know. Right. So, the drama is called Sparkle Love. Weird title, but it makes sense. And it stars Zhang Ling He and it stars Ling Mei Shi. It is a youth drama. It's set in like university, I would say. Mainly, it's not really set in school, it's set in university. And I'm going to read like the MDL synopsis for this because theirs is not that bad. And it goes, an extraordinary girl meets the swimming legend with zero experience in romance. What will happen when one shock makes him fall in love with her at first sight? Mei Wei Wei is born with a natural frequency. When she's not paying attention, one look at her and guys can be electrified to the point of falling in love. Jess is cracking up right now.
Is that the sparkle?
Yeah.
What?
This is what I mean. So basically, we have a female lead, and she has this like natural phenomenon about her that she literally like when she gets to a certain heart rate, she can like literally spark people and it give them like this electric shock. And if she's like touching a man or anything, it will make them fall in love with her. That's like, it is bonkers. But I was like, I really wanted to throw in there a drama that is completely out of left field. Is one of those dramas that you turn your brain completely off when you go in and watch it, and you just have a lot of fun with it. So this was the choice that I was like came up with. But the rest of like the MDL description is it's a troublesome trait that Mei Weiwei hid as she entered college, since she wants to be ordinary just like everyone else. Things don't go as planned when everyone's ideal guy, Mai Si Chong, gets shocked by her. He is a swimming legend, outgoing and bold yet sensitive. He makes his feelings known as he starts to pursue her relentlessly. When the sports hero who knows nothing about love suddenly falls head over heels in love, what kind of courting will ensue? So basically, he's like meant to be like this sort of, cold type of person, and all of a sudden, there's these shenanigans that happen, and
does it have to do with water in the pool? Because that's
does.
a conductor of electricity. Okay,
It does.
love
It
this.
does. It
All right.
does.
This is great.
It does. And then, like, basically, she just falls, like, he just falls head over heels for her completely. But saying all that, amongst all of this craziness, I also really liked how they went then down the route of how is the male lead going to like, what's the word I'm trying to say? How is he going to, like, believe what is real and what isn't, because he does eventually find out about her condition, and he's like, well, do I really love you, or do I just love you because of this thing that's happened?
That's where Destined with You completely floundered from this year as well, I think.
Yeah,
because it was like, does he love her because of the spell, or does he love her because it's real? And
I
the spell doesn't even matter.
I'm
end of the day.
I
Caitlin's slashing.
I did just look this up, and I have to say it says romantic love story of Pikachu and a great swimming athlete, and I
oh my god, yes,
sums it up really nicely.
That is a perfect description for it. It is a great description for it. So,
and she chose him.
Well,
like,
she
choose
doesn't.
you.
She doesn't. It was very
true.
much an accident.
That's wild. It sounds fun though.
This was so Zhang Ling He is.
I love the man.
I do. So he started off at Maiden Holmes, but this drama also came out the same year as Maiden Holmes. And this one, like I said, I wanted to pick something that was just complete fun and bonkers, and you can sort of turn your brain off and go in and just have a good time. And this is that type of drama. It's a lot of fun. It's, is it the best written drama out there? Absolutely not. But I had so much fun watching it. I just laughed the whole way through. So yeah, that's my my last choice. Sparkle
it's only 24
Love.
episodes.
Yeah, and I think they're pretty short episodes, so you very easily like just binge. It's one of those that you can very easily binge, because it's like it's got that quality to it. So yeah, Sparkle Love.
Sorry for losing it earlier with the plot.
No, because it is like I really did want like a bonkers drama to kind of choose from, and this one came up, and I was like, oh, I remember watching this and like having the best time watching it in terms of just this plot is insanity. But
you might make me change. You might make me change my last pick because you're setting a tone.
No, like same. Honestly, I was like, okay, hold on. Should I do a bonkers drama now?
Yeah.
I think I
You're
will.
not changing my pick. But... I
no
already
way.
know mine's
no way.
bonkers anyway.
Okay, Becky, you're up.
Yeah, Becky.
Oh, gosh. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys two options. Okay. So the first one, I don't even know, Chinese web drama, which is like it kind of has the same vibe as like W2 Worlds, like Extraordinary You, but it's crazy, and each episode's only 10 minutes long. Like you can watch it in 2 hours. Night of Love with You.
Yeah, I know that drama.
I had so much fun with it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. There's that one, or there is another one, kind of same premise, where like a fictional character comes to the real world, Mr. Bad. Which one do you guys want me to talk about?
I have watched the first one. I haven't watched the second one because it's I don't really like that female lead.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But
Well,
I don't know. It's your choice whether you want to go with the bonkers crazy one or whether you want to go,
you know
you
what?
know.
Talk
We'll
to
do
me about Mr.
bonkers.
Bad. Let's talk about Mr.
Right,
Mr.
we'll go
Bad.
for
Bad.
Mr.
We're doing
Bad.
Mr.
Yeah.
Bad. Okay,
Yeah, because it
so
has Chen Zhe-yuan.
Yeah, he has the male
In
lead
it.
from
yes.
Hidden Love. Yeah.
It's so fun. I enjoyed it so much. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. But it is like pretty bonkers, and like the storyline isn't like, like award winning. It's just a fun watch, but essentially I have to remember because I haven't watched it for a while, but the girl like writes a novel, like she's writing like a story, and you see her like talking about the main character and the evil villain, and then something happens. If I remember correctly, she's like at a fountain and she's just like wishing for a love. She's like, I wish I had someone to love, and then like she falls in, and then he comes up, and who is it? It's the villain of her story. And it's ridiculous because he is a proper villain. Like he's literally just like, I'm here and da da da, I don't want to be here. And she has to give him like room and board. And then like eventually he starts like modernizing himself because he's like from like the historical time period of her story. But like I don't even remember. It's just so many ridiculous scenes in it, but it was a fun watch with him. Like I believe there's a scene where, oh gosh, what does he do? He somehow like ends up getting a lot of money because he's really smart. So like she leaves him alone and he like sells a bunch of things and comes back with a ton of money, and she's like, "What?" He's like, "I'm powerful." And he does threaten to kill her a couple of times because he's like evil, but he eventually gets over that.
It says on MDL that whenever Nanting's wish comes with a special power, whenever she needs help, he
That
teleports
too.
next to her to
That
fulfill
too.
her
That's
wish.
also, and that's what makes it so funny too. That, gosh, I forgot about that. Where like basically, anytime she's just like, oh, I need help, he just shows up, and he then eventually he just gives in. It's like, I guess I'll help you, and then like they start to get closer, and like there's a scene where he's trying to like figure out his feelings, and that is the whole reason like why I watched it in the first place, because there's an edit where they're like in an escape room or something, and one of the things is to hug someone, or I don't even know, and he's like, I won't do that, but then he like and then he's like, where's my heartbeat, like it's so silly, but it was cute. I liked it. But yeah, the other bonkers one is Night of Love with You, if you want to watch a villain go into a heroine's body and then team up with the villain of the story, and that one's a good one too.
It's a really
Whoa.
good one. It's a really good one.
It's
I
so
did
fun.
watch Night of Love with You, and it is
You did?
so much fun. Yeah. I watched that one. I
It's
watched
so
that one.
good.
It's so good. It's wild and bonkers, but it is a lot of fun.
I think just like, yeah, just two bonkers drama. Sorry to throw in my like random one, but
No.
there's like a scene because she's evil, but she's in the main heroine's body. So everyone's like, oh, she's so like nice and sweet. And then her brother comes to her aid and she's like, will you do me a favor? And then they change clothes. He's wearing her fancy dress and she like walks away. He's like, sister. And she's a villain. She's a proper
Yeah,
villain.
she's a villain. Yeah. She's a proper villain. Yeah.
It's so funny though. It's good. Anyways, yeah.
Right. Back to Caitlin. Caitlin, what's your last choice?
Give us some murder.
So my last choice is the Japanese drama Erased.
Oh,
It's
okay.
from
I
2017.
love that.
Such a good
Oh,
drama.
have we found one that, is common to Becky and Caitlin?
Well, so I haven't seen the live action. The anime I really
Yeah.
love. I
Anime
will
was
watch the
amazing.
live
Live
action.
action was amazing.
So good.
I'm a little biased because the male lead is like one of my favorite Japanese actors of all time. So that's one thing. But basically, the main male lead, who's played by, I'm gonna butcher this, but whatever, Furukawa Yuki. You will know him from, oh my god, I'm blanking on what everybody watched him in. What is that?
I don't
Itazura
know.
Not Kiss.
Oh, yeah. I do know
That's
that.
like where he became
Yes.
like super popular or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so he plays a male lead who is like a manga artist and who has the ability to travel back in time. during like life-threatening moments, so he can like prevent those from happening. So like an example is like in the very first episode, he either sees an accident or like almost gets hit or does get hit by like a car, and he like time travels back and like prevents that from happening, right? So this whole story basically is he, in modern time in Tokyo, he finds out his mother is murdered by an unknown person, and he decides to go back and try to fix it. But he accidentally goes back like 18 years versus like a week.
Oh
And
God.
he ends up in his small town as a child, basically, and basically tries to prevent a kidnapping of a classmate of his that happened when he was a child. So he like knew this happened, but they never figured out who did it, and they never figured out like why, and they never found her. So he has to figure out why he's there 18 years ago, along with trying to figure out who kidnapped this girl and prevent that from happening.
This feels very signally.
Yeah, it's very signally. And then like he gets involved with this girl, but also like his childhood friends who like he doesn't talk to anymore in the present are also involved. So it's like basically these 3 kids trying to prevent this 4th kid from getting kidnapped and essentially basically getting murdered in the previous timeline. And it's beautifully done. Like the cinematography is just beautiful. It's super dark though. Like I have to tell you, it like involves child sexual assault, it involves murder. It's like it is super dark, but it's just an amazingly done story. The acting is wild. It's just so good.
I'm so down.
It's on Netflix, and the anime is also really good.
I'm so down.
But yeah, it's just, I remember watching this back when, I don't think I watched it right when it came on Netflix, but it pretty much, I watched it in like 2019, 2018, like pretty close to it. And I was just blown away because I had not seen the anime at that point. I watched the anime afterwards, and it was just like, oh my God, like the twists in this thing were ridiculous. And again, the cinematography is just beautiful because you have like, what this girl is known for is like she has a bright red coat. So the cinematography,
she's marked for death.
Pretty much. But like the cinematography is just like, it accentuates the red coat all the time. And it's just beautifully done with the snow scenes, and just, it's just so good. And
I am so
well
into it.
I need to watch the live action. I've had it on my list for a while.
This is on Netflix.
Yeah, it's a Netflix production.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good.
The anime, like it gets you in the first episode away.
You will cry.
It just gets sucked in.
It is so sad. Like
it is though.
So sad. But I highly, highly recommend both the anime and the live action of it. It's so good. I just remember like my mind was blown at the end of this. Just like, oh my God.
So what I'm hearing is I need to watch it.
Yes, you need to watch it. Yeah, but be ready. Like it is sad. Has some very hard issues. Like it's hard to watch. It's not an easy drama to watch, especially when it comes to the children. So if children is not your thing, when it comes to crime and being victims of crime, I would not recommend it because it's a highly, it will make you angry. Like it will make you angry with how horrible some of these people are.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But it's an amazing, I mean, I know I just say that, but it's an amazing Japanese drama. Just so good. And the anime is good too.
Right.
Dang it.
Okay. I feel like with this episode, I'm taking away way more things to add to my drama list than to my plan to watch.
This isn't fair at all. Because who among us has like all the time in the world to watch all of these shows?
None of us.
Okay, so for my final pick, I am gonna take a hint from Liliana and Becky, and I'm going to do something that's a little not as intense, because historicals tend to be, the better ones tend to be extremely intense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to go with The Romance of Tiger and Rose,
Oh,
which is
yes.
a blessing to all of us.
I love
this.
it.
Cute. I
haven't
love it.
seen it.
Love it. Oh God. Okay. Well, you
I did
definitely
not
should.
watch
It's
it.
very
You
I
need
want
watch
to.
it.
It's on my list. It's been on
so
my list
good.
forever.
from 2020. It stars Zhao Lushi as the female lead, and it also co-stars Ding Yu Shi,
Yeah, Ding Yushi, yeah.
who is, what was he in this year? Was it Love You Forever?
Love You 7 Times.
Love You 7 Times. That's the Shansha he was in this year.
Yeah, the one that
Which-
tanked slightly.
Oh, nice. Thanks. I was gonna plan on watching, but I was gonna watch it, but now I'm like, great.
No. I think it's because the problem with that one was the fact that basically it's supposed to be set within the same world as Love Between Fairy and
Mhm.
Devil, and people had that in their minds, so their expectations were like really, 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 really high.
They were expecting Love Between Fairy and Devil,
Yeah,
part 2.
Yeah, basically, and that's not what
That's
drama
not fair.
is.
That's
Yeah,
not fair to that
exactly.
drama.
So I think a lot of
Okay.
it wasn't necessarily fair on the drama itself.
Okay, well, I'll watch it after A Journey.
Yes,
what is that one that we were just talking
A
about?
Journey to Love and the Story
Journey
of
to Love.
Cooning Palace.
Yes,
You
those are the
need
two that
those
I'm
two
like,
first.
yeah.
You
Okay.
absolutely need those two first.
Bet. Okay, so let's get back to Romance of Tiger and Rose. So I'll read the MDL synopsis because it's not that long. Having finally sold her TV series script, aspiring screenwriter Chen Xiaoqian soon falls under the scrutiny of the male lead who refuses to act out the role. Vowing to make her script successful, she starts rewriting. While napping, she is transported into her own story, becoming the third princess, Chen Qianqian, a side character. Armed with the knowledge of her own script, in which her character is soon to be killed in the third episode, the male lead, Chao Shan, is determined to stay alive and find her way back home. Oh, wait, she's supposed to be killed by the male lead, but she's determined to stay alive and find her way back to the real world. I adore the show. I thought it was
I love it.
really just charming and extremely unserious, but then it had it where it counts. It had a lot of heart towards the end, and this plot sort of escalates a little bit, so you feel stakes getting higher. But on the whole, it is really cute. I love the leads. I love their chemistry. He's like all over her, and I love that. I love that for them. And the ending is good.
Yeah.
Happy
I was
ending.
happy with the ending. And
Yeah.
I think also what I really loved about that one is like the complete role reversal, because like the state that she's in, she's like all, the women take charge and the men are like subservient to the women. And I'm like, I love this. I'm here
I love
for
that.
it.
Yes. So she creates a world that's matriarchal versus
Yeah.
patriarchal.
Yeah.
And then she gets transported into the matriarchy. So it's fantastic. I really appreciated just the fact that it was so lighthearted, but it kept evolving, and that was nice.
Right, so that's it. That's everybody's like the 5 that we picked, but we do need to go into honorable mentions.
Yeah.
I love it. I love our just yes. Yeah, we do need them. So I've got a couple, but the ones that I have are like really big dramas in general, so I don't necessarily need to like go into detail. So I'm just gonna like rapid fire these. And basically the ones that I have are obviously Hidden Love for, a youth romance, because that is the C drama of the year, I think, in terms of it completely blew up. So, Hidden Love. Go Ahead, which I've talked about Go Ahead. I have a review episode on Go Ahead. I rewatched it this year and it still stands to me. So, and I don't rewatch anything, but I did rewatch it this year to review it, and I still love it just as much as I did, in 2020 when it first came out. So, Go Ahead. And then for youth, Time and Him Are Just Right. Another one that I really, really, really enjoy. It is like more on the college aspect rather than, high school. So, That's what I really enjoyed. Our Secret, which is the same male lead again from Hidden Love, but he plays a way like more stoic kind of character in Our Secret than he does in Hidden Love. And then lastly, it's Lighter and Princess, but I will say Lighter and Princess, I don't recommend to everyone. It's not your typical youth drama. It is way more angsty. It is way more like grey characters type of scenario. So if that's not your thing,
So I
don't
would
go
love
to
it.
I think
You would eat
might
it up.
enjoy it. Yeah, I think you might enjoy it because it's a lot of like, you know, the male lead is super cold. He's very like misunderstood, and in general none of these characters are like good characters. They're just like human and completely flawed, and they're selfish because they're at that age of being selfish and seeing things through a very like you know, very narrow lens just because they haven't had the experience. So yeah, that's
What was the fourth one that you said? Because you said Go Ahead, Our Secret, Lighter and Princess, and what was the other one?
Time and Him are just right.
Time and Him are just right. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one I really, really enjoyed as well. So Becky, what's your honorable
Fun-
mentions?
Funnily enough, you said the ones I was gonna say.
Really?
Yeah. I was like looking, I was like, I guess I can say I did have like a couple, but no, literally you got them all besides I really like Because This Is My First Life. It's just a classic. It's just so good. It's so healing. It's such a nice romance. The last episode is just the best.
I love it. I love that one.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And then I really liked High Venus. I've
I
recommended it a lot
love High
lately.
Venus.
It's just so fun. It's just got such a fun concept of like her kind of it in the situation he's in. She's like ordering him around and like making him do things, and then she finds out that he's actually like the CEO of the
Of her
company that she
company, the
works
she
for.
work. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's just such a fun little petty drama, and then they
yeah.
fall in love and fake date and all
Yeah.
kinds of fun stuff that they do.
Well, that one is the same screenwriter as Go Ahead as well. So
Yes. Yeah, that's why I love it. And those are my two honorable mentions.
that's a screenwriter that I chase around Dramaland because I know that every drama that they've done up to date I've enjoyed. So it's one of those screenwriters that I tend to, you know, follow around. So, Caitlin, what are some of your honorable mentions?
Okay, so I have 3.
Okay.
First one is the Korean drama Voice season 1. Season 1.
Are we being very specific here?
Specific. Season 2 is good. Season 3 and 4, especially 4, was not it. So season 1 was amazing. Like, still one of my favorite villains of all time. It's extremely violent. I love the whole. This is another one where like they're racing the clock with every episode because they have to find somebody in what they call the golden hour before they end up dead, and it's just like high stakes, intense. The woman, you kind of have to take some things like it is because the lead woman has this magical ability that she can have like super hearing, that you can hear through a phone and everything, but it's just the villain is just chef's kiss so much. But the fact that like it was acted so well, I think the villain is played by Kim Jae-wook. He actually came out later saying like he was affected by this role. He had to like go to therapy and like
Oh my God.
like
My gosh.
his character is intense in this role, like really, really intense. I want him to play another villain so bad, but I understand why he won't.
Yeah.
But he's amazing. Anyway, the next one I will name is The Lies Within. This is another Korean drama. It came out in, I think it was 2020. 2019.
Yeah, 2019.
It has Lee Min Ki and Lee Yu Young in it. And this one was originally an OCN drama. It's one of the last OCN
Oh,
dramas.
OCN.
Oh God.
OCN.
It was
less.
intense. It was
Yeah.
like it had like it. So basically, Lee Min Ki plays a detective who like once was like really enthusiastic, really a go-getter, and then he kind of just is like, I'm kind of done. And he moves to a small town thinking it's not going to have a lot of crime, kind of like semi-retire basically. And he decides that he's going to take a case involving a lawmaker who died in a car accident. And then he goes into this car accident, investigates it, and realizes it's not just a car accident. So the guy who dies, like his son-in-law, I think it was, then goes missing. So his daughter is played by Lee Yu Young, who's married to the son-in-law. So not only is her husband missing, her father just died in this car accident.
Oh, blooming it.
And so she basically kind of has to navigate the political landscape while dealing with this missing husband, as well as the accident of her father, and then also help this detective like investigate this. And she ends up like becoming involved in this case and getting in danger and whatever. It was intense. I absolutely loved it. It was amazing. It was so good. And then my last one was Bad Kids, the Chinese drama. It's one on the
classic
Light On
series. Yeah.
So good. Just like the intensity of this, like I can't remember. Let me look up the actor. Because this was the first time he had been acting forever, like, but it was the first time I'd ever seen him in a role. And he, like, this is another one of those dramas where you immediately know the bad guy within like the first 5 seconds. And I remember watching the first scene of this drama and it happening, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, it's like, and it comes out of nowhere. Like, he's just like basically hiking up a hill with his parents, and then something happens and you're like, oh my God. It's Kin Hao is the male lead, one of the male leads, but he's just like, it goes from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds flat, and it doesn't stop. And Kin Hao is like amazingly creepy in this drama and just so good. And then the children actors in this drama are just so good. And it's just like, it blew me out of the water. Because again, it was another one of those like crime dramas where I'm like, I kind of went in, it got a lot of buzz. I'm like, okay, I have to watch this. Like, I don't know much about it, but a lot of people are talking about it. I need to watch it. And I'm just like, I can see why a lot of people are talking about this. It was so good. So good.
As an aside, The Bad Kids on Douban has a 9.2.
Get out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it only has, I think it's 12 episodes.
Yeah, it's fairly short. It's fairly short. It's like, to me, that's the heyday of the Light On series.
Light On, yeah.
It's
None
like
of the Light
the
On
Bad
series have
Kids,
reached
the
to that.
Long Night.
The Long Night,
like those, that's the height of the
Light On. They tried to get back to that and they just have not.
Well, it's because, so I believe the Bad Kids and The Longest Night has the same director or the same writer. It's something along those lines. And Aichi was a bit dumb and lost that person to Tencent. However, it doesn't seem like Tencent has done anything really with him. I don't know. And I really, really, really wish Aichi could get him back on for like Light On series, because he's brilliant.
Yeah.
And that is the highlight of Light On series.
So I watched The Bad Kids, which was also a 2020, and then I watched Murderous Affair in Horizon Tower, like right after it. And I was just like, chef's kiss, crime dramas are back in Chinese drama. Then it's just so good. So those are my 3 honorable mentions.
Oh my God. Okay.
Jess.
So it's down to me. Back around. And I will kind of split these up into K-dramas and C-dramas. So for K-dramas, again, these are like bigger or more recent shows. So I already mentioned The Red Sleeve. That's one.
Yeah.
My Dearest from this year, but like,
I need to watch it.
Like, broke me down and put me back together. So that was this year.
The drama, also known to me as the drama that Jess and Sarah from K-Drama This and Naz and like all the people that I speak to on the daily keep telling me you need to try it. You need to like push past, because I did try episode 1, but I was like, oh, I'm not really sure about it. So I was like, I
Yeah,
need to go back.
yeah, you definitely need
Jess's face right now.
because I had like crazy eyes for a second because it is quite literally an epic, and it takes place over many years through lots of tribulations that are true history in Korea, and it's quite a feat for them to do. And even though I have my nitpicks about the latter episodes, it is one of the best K-dramas and sagaks historicals like ever. So
the minute I heard that it was based off of Gone with the Wind, I was like, I need to watch this drama.
Yeah,
I need to, because I love Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind is another sweeping epic that takes place during a turbulent time in American history. So it's literally, it's a retelling, loose retelling of Gone with the Wind, and the archetypes are the same. And again, if you don't like the petulant Scarlett O'Hara, then you might have trouble connecting with Arkilje, which is the equivalent character in My Dearest. And I felt like a lot of people had that hiccup the first few episodes. They were like, "Oh, I don't like her. She's not like,
yeah, that's
like,
me.
yeah,
that's me.
She's a teenager." Like snotty teenagers. So yeah. But she grows. It's a big arc for her. And if you want to hear more, we just covered it on the Debak feed because I was so enthralled with the series. I really wanted to talk about it at length. So it's there if you want to. The other K-dramas, I already mentioned this Red Sleep. Oh, Kingdom seasons 1 and 2, which is more of a
amazing
thriller zombie saga. Love it, so good. I love
it. I love it. I watched
We need
it.
season 3.
Yes, I watched it. I am not usually like a big zombie or dipping into that sort of and Saguks aren't necessarily my thing a lot of the time, but I actually watched this and binged it with my partner last year over Christmas. We watched it like all together. It was great. I think it was like the first show that I finished in 2023 was like Kingdom season 2. So
nice. Yeah, so you started with Kingdom this year then. But I highly recommend it. Even if you're not necessarily a horror fan, I think it's appealing for
I think so.
And then lastly, I have Moon Embracing the Sun, which is I think one of the classics. Classics. And I've rewatched it too, which is really rare for me to rewatch something. There's others on this list that I haven't watched or I haven't watched completely that come up in conversation all the time in K-drama saga. It's like the greatest of all times. Like you have Empress Ki, Six Flying Dragons, Tree with Deep Roots, Queen for 7 Days, Tongyi, Jewel in the Palace, recently Under the Queen's Umbrella, and Mr. Queen are up there as well. I haven't watched all of these.
Loved both of those. Under the Queen's Umbrella and Mr. Queen. Great.
Yeah. Mr. Queen isn't like terribly unserious. Like I've seen a lot of clips of that one and I'm like, yeah, that's
that's not serious
as serious as the other one.
Actually, Mr. Queen is based on a Chinese drama called Go Princess Go. So
yeah. FYI for those who don't know.
Yeah.
And then for C dramas, I was really torn because I think I like C drama historicals more than K drama historicals, and it was very evident when I was making my list. But I have The Princess Wei Young. Listen, great drama.
That's on my list.
Great drama.
On my list to watch.
Watch it. I was floored with that show. It is such a great show. It's this girl is a princess of this nation, and her nation gets obliterated at the beginning of the show, and so she has to survive and to exact revenge. She goes into the neighboring country, which is supposedly the people that like took out her entire nation and her family, and she assumes the identity of a Wei Young, which is the prime minister's daughter, and shit goes from there. Like it really picks up. It's a giant sweeping romance as well. She's very strong and determined of a character, and she gets her revenge. So yeah, good one. And then I also have Rise of Phoenixes, which is a masterpiece, in my opinion. It's quite long.
I need to finish it.
Not easy to get through because it is so long and sort of dense, but the performances and the cinematography, the set design, production, the costuming, it's like all 100s across the board. I highly recommend that one too. I think that one's on Netflix. And then the last
It's not
few,
anymore.
is it not? It used to be
Nope.
on Netflix because I thought it was
They
like a
took it off this year.
rude.
I was
rude.
so angry.
That's rude. Okay. So then we have Mistruth, which is not very long and isn't as intense as the other ones. And then we have Royal Nirvana, which is as intense and long as the other ones. And The King's Woman, which has Dilraba in it. And what's the male lead's name? He
Is it Zhang Binbin?
Yes, Zhang Bingbin is in it. He's the male lead. And if this is what I didn't know was this is a true king, the first king of China, like the emperor of China that united all of the factions and areas in China. This is his story. It's semi-fictional.
Yeah.
Fictionalized version of his life, but he really did do like all the stuff that he says that he does, and he's quite ruthless. This is the same king that is entombed with the terracotta warriors. So very interesting and angsty and wrong and toxic and all the rest. Like, that's the type of story that this is.
This is so for 2024, one of the things that I really want to do is go back and watch some of these like longer historical dramas.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm gonna start off with one that's been on my list for ages, Nirvana and Fire. So that's gonna be an interesting.
See, I haven't watched Nirvana and Fire either, but I tend to hoard my xianxuas.
Yeah.
Like I just have like a huge list of ones that I haven't watched because I'm like, if things go south in a season, then I'm just like, I can turn on at this xianxua that I've never seen before, and I know I'm gonna love.
So yeah, I want to watch that one. So that one's I'm going to be doing a review on that one for Nirvana and Fire.
You have to tell me when you're doing it so that I can watch it and then I'll listen to your episode. Yeah.
And it's going to be fun because I'm actually going to be doing it with Sarah from K-Drama This. So it's going to be
Sarah's fun.
Yeah. And I think like a lot of the things that I might miss out on, she will definitely pick up on. So I'm really, really but the other one that I really want to watch is the story of Minglan, because
me too.
I've heard so many good things about it, but it is long. It's like 72 episodes, but people have said it's worth...
The eyebrows went up on
Rise of the Phoenixes is 80 episodes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
it's really long.
So yeah, and the other one that I had on my list and has been on there is like The Princess Wei Young. Like that one's been on my list for...
You're gonna love that one, I think.
It's so good.
So
I haven't watched it in years, but it's so good.
Yeah.
So these are like the ones that are like they're gonna be like my long watches, so they're going to be the ones that I dip in and out of, as well as Joy of Life, because Joy of Life season 2 is going to come out. They're about to wrap it up, so we'll see. But those are the ones that are like I want to work towards, especially right now that I'm like I'm loving historicals way more than I was, a year ago. So that's like going to be the ones that I dip in and out of next year. So
very nice.
So, yeah.
Very nice.
Sweet. Is that it, guys?
That's it. I'm sorry. I was here for a long time.
Good.
With the honorable mentions.
That is it. I can't believe we've been... this has been so much fun. Like, this has been a lot of fun. It's going to be a long one, so I'm glad we broke it up into 2 parts. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. You gave me a run for my money.
You are welcome back anytime. Right, that's it. That's everything.
That's it. That was a long one, but we got through everything. We name dropped everything.
Yeah, we did.
You're welcome, people. You're welcome.
You're not going to run out.
You have your drama list for 2024.
Yeah. Yes. You're not going to run out. And there's something for everyone in this episode, which I love. So
yeah.
I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much, all of you, for coming on. It's always a blast to hang out with you. And yeah, that's it. Just I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Want to find an Asian drama community? Then join the Tea and Soju Discord server, where we chat everything from C-dramas to K-dramas to J-dramas. To chat with me, check out any of the socials. Please help the podcast by rating, viewing, and subscribing wherever you listen to help others find this little corner. Lastly, consider joining Patreon to further support the podcast and receive extra content. All of the links are in the episode description. That's it. This has been another episode of the Tea and Soju C-Drama podcast. I'm your host, Liliana, and I'll see you next week for more C-Drama chatter.